Not long ago, Barcelona was seriously considering getting rid of him. He felt unwanted. He was used as a patch for problems, not as someone who could ever become the face of the team. 2 years ago, Raphinha was just one step away from moving to Saudi Arabia, signing a life-changing contract and leaving a club that never fully accepted him. 1 year later, he became the Champions League's top scorer, the key figure behind Barcelona's victories, and a player without whom this team simply does not function. And yet, the strangest part is this. He finished 5th in the Ballon d'Or voting. At the best awards, he finished 5th again. He wasn't even included in the FIFA team of the year. You're watching Goal Talk, and this is the story of Raphinha. Let's begin. The 2023-24 season. Barcelona are eliminated by PSG in the Champions League, finish the campaign without a single trophy, and part ways with Xavi, another coach who couldn't survive the club's ongoing crisis. For several years, Barcelona have been drowning in financial problems, lawsuits and structural failures on the pitch. One thing becomes obvious. The club needs a major rebuild. One of the first names on the exit list is Raphinha. Saudi clubs begin showing interest. And for Barcelona, constantly fighting deficits, this option feels like a lifeline. In 2 seasons at the club, Raphinha failed to become either a fan favorite or an undisputed leader. In his debut season, 2022-23, he recorded 10 goals and 12 assists in 50 matches. Not terrible numbers, but for a winger signed for $58 million. It was far from inspiring. The following season didn't change. Much 10 goals and 13 assists in 37 games. The reasons were clear. Injuries and a lack of trust from Xavi. Throughout the entire 2023-24 campaign, Raphinha completed the full 90 minutes only 6 times. This situation satisfied no one. The player felt distrusted week after week. While the club saw the perfect moment to sell him and cash in, the pressure increased even more, because Joan Laporta was obsessed with signing Nico Williams in the summer of 2024 after Spain's sensational European Championship triumph. Barcelona found a new dream. Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal playing together. Fans immediately embraced the idea. Some even bought shirts with Raphinha's number and replaced his name with Nico's. At that moment, Raphinha's departure seemed logical and inevitable. Everything looked decided, as if the story was already over. But one crucial detail changed everything. That summer, Barcelona appointed Hansi Flick, a coach with a clear vision of what he wanted this team to become. And with one conversation, he completely transformed Raphinha's situation. Flick immediately asked the Brazilian to stay, even though the move to Saudi Arabia was almost finalized. At that point, Raphinha was mentally exhausted. He wasn't trusted, he was substituted almost every game, and now he was being sold simply to fund Nico Williams' transfer. Here is how Raphinha himself described that moment. I was told about the Saudi offer. Honestly, I was shocked. The numbers were enormous. I would have accepted it. I was mentally broken, and that money would have changed my family's life. But Flick told me he trusted me if I stayed. And I believed him. As a result, Barcelona entered the season having signed only Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Later, Wojciech Szczęsny joined after coming out of retirement. That was it. No Nico Williams. The transfer collapsed, but Flick remained calm. He was fully satisfied with Raphinha as his main winger and with the young players he wanted to build the team around. From the very first matches under Flick, Raphinha's performances became one of the main talking points. The German coach didn't just trust him, he redefined his role. While Raphinha had played on the left wing before, Flick gave that position a completely new purpose. Now Raphinha constantly attacked the penalty area, timing his runs behind Lewandowski. In many situations, he operated almost like a second striker. He had always taken many shots, but now he was shooting from far better positions. The second key change was his off-the-ball work. Raphinha became the engine of Barcelona's pressing. He never switched off, not for a second. He pressed relentlessly and set the emotional tone for the entire team. Yes, Flick revitalized Barcelona as a whole, but Raphinha became the embodiment of that transformation. From a player regularly substituted in the second half, he turned into a decisive match winner. The numbers say everything. 34 goals and 26 assists in 57 matches, 60 goal contributions in a single season. No Brazilian in Barcelona's history has ever achieved that. This puts Raphinha alongside Ronaldo Nazario, who posted the same numbers in the 1996-97 season. Barcelona won 3 trophies, and were eliminated only in the Champions League. Semi-finals by Inter, Raphinha became the tournament's top scorer. He delivered in every big match, a hat-trick against Bayern, a brace and a winner against Benfica, a crucial goal in the knockout stage while playing with 10 men, 5 goals in 4 El Clásicos, and even in the loss to Inter, it was his goals that kept Barcelona alive. He wasn't just accepted anymore, he was adored. Alongside Lamine Yamal and Pedri, Raphinha became a symbol of Flick's new Barcelona, a team once again respected across Europe. For most of the year, until Barcelona's Champions League exit, Raphinha was considered a serious Ballon d'Or contender. Everything seemed aligned. Statistics, influence, decisive goals, and trophies. But the ceremony told a different story. He finished 5th. At FIFA The Best Awards, he finished 5th again. And then came the most painful moment. He wasn't included in the Team of the Year at all. Even Flick was stunned. It's unbelievable. Raphinha had the biggest impact on the game, yet the disregard continued. The club shifted its media focus toward Lamine Yamal, making him the new face of Barcelona. And the answer to who truly drives this team became clear this season. When Raphinha got injured in late September and missed 2 months, Barcelona entered a crisis. Losses followed, including PSG and El Clasico. Without him, the team simply didn't function the same way. Raphinha may lack individual awards, but he remains Barcelona's true leader, quietly, relentlessly, and without unnecessary words. The comparison between Raphinha and Lamine Yamal has become unavoidable. Who actually has more influence on Barcelona's game, the teenage prodigy or the experienced Brazilian? This season has already given a clear answer. In the 6th round of LaLiga, during the match against Alaves, Raphinha picked up an injury that sidelined him for several weeks. He was unavailable from late September until late November. And coincidentally, or maybe not, this exact period turned into a crisis for Flick's Barcelona. In October alone, the team lost 3 matches, including defeats against PSG and Real Madrid in El Clasico. Goals disappeared. Intensity dropped. The pressing no longer worked the same way. The impact of Raphinha's absence became impossible to ignore. Without him, Barcelona lost balance. His runs, his aggression, his constant movement between the lines, all of it was missing. Lamine Yamal, for all his extraordinary talent, is still only 18 years old. He is not yet capable of carrying an entire team on his shoulders over long stretches. Maybe one day he will. But right now, the leader of Barcelona's attack is Raphinha, a player who is entering the prime years of his career. If after last season there were any doubts that his performance was just a one-year phenomenon, those doubts have now completely disappeared. Despite the lack of individual awards and recognition, Raphinha continues to be a decisive figure for Barcelona. In the new season, he remains a key factor in the club's success. It feels like the only reason Raphinha doesn't receive the attention he truly deserves from the media is hype, or rather the lack of it. The club is heavily focused on promoting its new golden boy, Lamine Yamal, while Raphinha quietly does the hardest work on the pitch. According to Sport, Raphinha has made a fundamental decision about his future. He will not leave Barcelona until he wins the Champions League with this club. Individual awards, including the Ballon d'Or, are secondary to him. The most important thing is Barcelona, the club he dreamed of playing for since childhood. Let journalists and experts continue to underestimate him. Let the headlines belong to others. Raphinha Diaz will keep doing what he has always done, working in silence, improving himself and leading his team without unnecessary noise. Step by step, match by match, he is guiding Barcelona back toward greatness. The purpose of this episode was simple: to once again remind people of the incredible work this footballer has done to transform himself. Not every contribution can be measured by trophies or individual awards. And if those awards fail to reflect everything Raphinha gives to football, then it becomes the responsibility of those who truly watch and understand the game to say it out loud. Because football is not only about ceremonies, rankings, or media narratives. It is about impact, about influence, about players without whom teams simply stop functioning. And Raphinha is exactly that kind of player for Barcelona today. Thank you for watching. Your support truly helps us continue to grow and develop. The link is in the comments. Love football. See you next time.